The echoes of a shattered crystal vase lingered in the Savannah mansion's heavy silence. Arthur stood frozen near the threshold, gripping imported red roses, thorns biting his palm. He had returned early from Chicago to surprise his family, but the kitchen scene was a nightmare. Beneath cold lighting stood Rachel, the 20-year-old housemaid, arms protectively around 8-month-old twins Leo and Marcus. The infant sobbed into her neck. Her yellow rubber gloves were damp, but her stance unyielding. 2 feet away was Victoria, Arthur's fiancée in 2 months, emerald green silk dress, face contorted with aristocratic disgust and venomous rage. "Miss Victoria, please lower your voice," Rachel pleaded, rocking the twins. "The boys are terrified. I only came for warm water for their bottles." "Do not talk back, you pathetic peasant," Victoria hissed. "This is my domain. Their whimpering gives me a migraine. They are as insufferable as you." Arthur felt sick listening from the corridor shadows. At Gallus, Victoria smiled and declared she loved the motherless twins as her own, little angels to heal his broken heart after his first wife's death. Yet here the mask had fallen. "I am so sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt you," Rachel stammered. "We will return to the basement immediately." "You are leaving, but not before you clean this mess," Victoria commanded, pointing to a tiny puddle. "I cannot let them go." "They are shaking too hard," Rachel explained, dark eyes swimming with tears. "I don't give up on about their crying," Victoria shrieked. She hurled a porcelain teacup at the floor near Rachel's feet. China exploded into shards. Rachel spun, using her back as a shield so no fragment touched the babies. "You are insane," Rachel shouted. "You could have blinded them. These are Mr. Arthur's children." Victoria burst into a cold, hollow laugh. "Mr. Arthur isn't here," Victoria sneered. "That idiot is signing contracts in Chicago to pay my cards. He believes whatever lie I feed him. You are a disposable servant. If I tell him you broke the cup, who will he believe?" The silence was suffocating. Arthur remained motionless, fury barely contained. The woman he trusted viewed him as a walking ATM. Every kiss and declaration had been performance. "Please, just let us go," Rachel whispered. "I won't say a word. Just take the boys away." Victoria smiled cruelly. She pulled a carton of milk from the refrigerator. "You came for milk? Fine. Have your milk." She poured the cold liquid onto the floor, splattering Rachel's shoes. Rachel twisted, shielding the infants. Arthur felt a scalding tear, not grief but righteous anger. Yet he saw truth. While his fiancée behaved like a savage, the maid in cheap uniform showed queenly dignity. "Now get on your knees and scrub," Victoria ordered, "or I will fire you and blackball you from every agency in Georgia." Rachel looked at the milk and shards, then the whimpering boys. "No," Rachel said quietly but firmly. Victoria blinked. "What?" "I said no. I will scrub floors, wash clothes, cook meals, and tolerate insults, because I need this job for my mother's medical treatments. But I will not kneel while holding Arthur's children. I will not place these babies on broken glass and sour milk to feed your ego." Silence terrified the room. Arthur held his breath, awed by Rachel's fortitude. Victoria's face flushed crimson. "You dare defy me?" Victoria hissed. "When I marry Arthur, I will throw you out like garbage." "Mr. Arthur would never allow that," Rachel countered. "Arthur will do what I tell him." Victoria laughed. "He is weak and easily manipulated." Every word twisted in Arthur's chest. He felt foolish and blind. Victoria snapped her phone. "I am calling security. I will say you attacked me and stole jewelry. You will leave in handcuffs." Rachel wept but refused to step into the glass. As Victoria's thumb hovered, a deep voice cut through. "There is no need to call anyone, Victoria." Victoria froze, color draining. The phone slipped and clattered. Arthur stepped from the shadows, eyes burning. He stopped 2 feet away. "I know you didn't expect me," Arthur said quietly. "Thank God I caught an earlier flight." He looked at Rachel, milk soaking her shoes, shards around her feet, red marks on her arms. Victoria threw herself at him, theatrical sob. "Arthur, thank God, that girl attacked me. She tried to steal and threw milk on the children." Arthur raised a hand. Victoria fell silent. Then he walked past her as if she were furniture. He stepped into the milk puddle, knelt before Rachel, hand on her shoulder. "Rachel, please stand up." "Mr. Arthur, I am sorry. I didn't break it. I know everything." He rose, turned to Victoria, eyes Arctic ice. "I heard every word from the moment you entered." Victoria backed against the refrigerator. Arthur focused on Rachel. "Give Marcus to me." Rachel hesitated. "Sir, he is wet." I will ruin your suit. I don't care. Give me my son. She transferred the infant. The boy quieted, burying face in Arthur's neck. Guilt pierced Arthur. He draped his suit jacket over Rachel's shoulders. Keep the baby warm. Victoria gasped outrage. That is an Armani. You wrap it around her like royalty? She is filthy. Arthur helped Rachel away from the glass, forming a protective barrier with the maid and children, Victoria excluded. Be quiet, Arthur decreed. Victoria snapped shut. I will not be quiet. Victoria exploded. I pretended to care about these children to please you. Now you treat me like a criminal for enforcing structure. You called them a burden, Arthur said. An obstacle to your freedom. Victoria's face mottled purple. She used truth as weapon. Yes, they are a burden. They ruin everything. They ruined our intimacy. They are my sons, Arthur said with cold finality. They are children of a ghost. Your wife is dead. Get over it. I am alive. I share your bed. Yes, I despise them. I despise pretending to be the perfect mother on social media. I am sick of it. Rachel covered Leo's ear. Thank you, Arthur said quietly. Victoria blinked. Thank you for removing your mask before I signed the certificate. Thank you for showing me the mistake I almost made. Victoria realized what she was losing. Credit cards, status, invites. She softened. Arthur, I am stressed. I said things I didn't mean. You know I love the boys. This girl provokes me. She wants your money. She is an opportunist. Arthur looked at Rachel, head bowed. Only concerned the infant. He looked at bruises on her arms. She stood between you and my sons to protect them, Arthur said. She refused to drop my children on glass. That is a mother's instinct, a quality you could never possess. Do not compare me to a maid, Victoria screamed. I am a Vanderbilt. I have status. You have a last name, Arthur corrected, but no class. Class is how you treat those who can do nothing for you. You are the poorest human I have ever met. Victoria crossed her arms. If you call off the wedding, you will be the laughingstock of Savannah. Invitations are out. Do you humiliate me over spilled milk? Arthur towered over her. You believe this is about milk? I heard you threaten Rachel's life, blackball her, cut off her access to my children. It was an empty threat. You were planning to isolate my children from their protector and discard a human being because her goodness exposed your wickedness. Arthur turned to Rachel. How long has this been going on? Rachel hesitated, then remembered Pinch's insults, indifference. Ever since London last month, sir. She said if I complained, you would choose status over a girl who scrubs floors. She threatened to evict my mother from care. Arthur closed his eyes, absorbing his failure. Liar! Victoria shrieked. Be silent. It is over. Victoria. The engagement and your residence are finished. Get out. Victoria laughed. You cannot throw me out. I have rights. This property is under my family trust. I updated security before Chicago. Cameras in common areas. I am curious what 3 weeks of recordings show. How many times you laid hands on my children or humiliated this woman? Victoria searched for lenses. Knew she was ruined. Arthur, please, fire the maid. I will go to therapy. Don't do this. Where will I go? I do not care where you go. You will not spend another minute under this roof with my sons. Thomas appeared. Thomas, escort Miss Victoria off immediately. She leaves with what she is wearing. Victoria screamed about jewelry and gowns. I will pack your items and deliver to Atlanta tomorrow. Except one thing. Arthur held out his hand. The ring, give it back. No, it is a gift. It was a promise you shattered. Give it or Thomas calls police for assault, trespassing, extortion. Video evidence. Your choice, leave on your feet or in a squad car. Victoria shrieked, ripped off the diamond, hurled it. It struck Arthur's chest, bounced into the milk near Rachel's shoe. I hate you, Victoria screamed as Thomas dragged her out. You will rot with your broken children and servant. As screams faded, quiet settled. Arthur turned to Rachel, still shaking in his jacket. Are you all right? Mr. Arthur, the ring, it is expensive. Leave it. There are things far more valuable than pressurized carbon. Arthur brushed milk from Leo's cheek. Please forgive me, Rachel. Forgive my absence. Forgive bringing that monster into my children's house. You don't need to apologize. I was terrified she would take them. Arthur saw bruises on her pale forearm, dark red fingerprints. You are injured. It is nothing. It is not nothing. You fought like a lioness. You protected my blood when I was miles away. Arthur chose. Hierarchy broken. They were father and the woman who saved his sons. Come with me. Living room. We need to talk, not as employer and employee. In the living room, Arthur placed Marcus on a pillow, returned with first aid kit and ice. He knelt before Rachel. "Give me your arm." Rachel flushed. "Not necessary, please. It is the minimum to ease my guilt." She extended her arm. Arthur applied ointment to purple bruises with surprising tenderness. "Why didn't you call me?" "Miss Victoria said you would never believe me. Men like you choose beautiful women over girls who wash underwear." Arthur's hands froze. "And you believed her?" "I didn't know you, sir. You were never here." "You are right," he finished, placed ice pack. Rachel told about her mother's advanced kidney failure, dialysis, Victoria's threat to evict her from care if she complained. Arthur felt nausea. Victoria used a dying woman's life as leverage. My God. You carried your mother's survival and my children's safety alone while I sat in boardrooms. If I walked away, who would keep them safe? She left them alone for hours. I couldn't leave them unprotected. Arthur stopped pacing. "Rachel, as of this moment, your mother's treatments are paid by my estate, independent of employment. I will establish a permanent medical trust tomorrow. You will never face that fear again." Rachel's eyes widened. "I didn't tell you to beg for money. This is not negotiation. It is a debt of honor. You kept my sons alive when I failed as father. You gave them a mother's protection. I will ensure you never bow to financial desperation again." He sat opposite. "Let me hold Leo. Your arm needs rest." As she transferred the infant, their hands touched. The barrier dissolved. Later, the twins woke hungry. Rachel tried to rise, but grimaced. "Stay. I will handle bottles." Rachel laughed softly, the first genuine laugh Arthur heard. "Do you know how to prepare formula?" Arthur froze. "Of course not. It is more complicated than a corporation. Let me guide you." Rachel perched on a bar stool while Arthur rolled sleeves, washed hands like a surgeon. She guided, "Sterilizer exact 8 ounces, warmer 40 seconds, test on wrist." Chaos ensued, spilled powder, burned wrist, backward caps. But Arthur felt fulfillment he never knew closing deals. For the first time, he felt like a real father. They fed the boys. Marcus initially rejected, but Arthur relaxed, held him to his heartbeat. The boy accepted the bottle, tiny fingers gripping Arthur's thumb. Rachel hummed a southern lullaby about a mother watching over children through storm. "What is that song?" "My grandmother sang it. It made me feel safe." Arthur watched her, piece of feeding children, simple melody. He realized this was the family image he searched for in magazines, hidden in his own service quarters. What did they eat when Victoria rationed formula? Rachel lowered gaze. "I saved portions of my meals. Soft fruits, bread. When she slept, I hid extra milk downstairs." She kept strict inventory, called organic formula unnecessary expense. Anger flared in Arthur. "She rationed food for my infants. I was blind." Rachel hesitated. "There is something else, the nursery. Look beneath Leo's crib mattress." They went upstairs. Arthur lifted the mattress, a black device with battery. "Turn the dial, sir. That is what she used to keep them quiet." Arthur turned it. Piercing white noise, deafening for infant ears. Victoria used it to drown cries so she could ignore them for hours. Arthur sank into the rocking chair, sick. She locked the door and left it running. She said it taught them crying brings no one. "I slipped in through the window every night to disconnect it and hold them. I hid it today so you could see proof." Arthur understood Marcus's desperate grip, the terror in their eyes when Victoria entered. Systematic, cruel neglect. He called Thomas. "Bring the vehicle. Contact legal. I want criminal team at office by 8 tomorrow. Victoria is not just leaving. I want her behind bars for child endangerment." He turned to Rachel. "Pack from the basement." Rachel panicked. "Are you dismissing me?" "No. You will never sleep in that dark servant room again. From tonight, you occupy the master guest suite across from my sons. You belong up here with us." He lifted her broken suitcase. "The boys are asleep." Thomas posted a guard. "You have nothing to fear." They walked past the silent kitchen, up the grand staircase. Arthur opened mahogany doors opposite the nursery. "This is your room." Rachel lost breath. The suite was larger than her old apartment. King canopy bed with Egyptian silk, velvet armchairs, balcony over Savannah skyline, marble bathroom with soaking tub. "Mr. Arthur, this is too much. I cannot sleep here. I will stain the silk." "Rachel, look at me. You slept on hard floor to shield my sons from porcelain. You used your body as shield against a monster. Nothing in this mansion is too good for you. You earned it through nobility of soul. You are protector of this house now. But neighbors, other staff, a maid in master wing. Let them say what they please. The only opinions that matter sleep safely across the hall. Rest. Tomorrow is long. He stopped at the door. Thank you. For everything. Next morning, Arthur woke to frantic phone, missed calls, texts from journalists, alerts from Attorney Harrison. He rushed downstairs. Rachel was in jeans and white t-shirt, scrambling eggs, twins in high chairs, laughing. But Rachel's face was bloodless, staring at TV. Arthur, you need to see this. I didn't do anything. Victoria sat on white couch in simple black dress, hair disheveled, no makeup, dabbing eyes with lace handkerchief. Banner, exclusive, the nightmare of Victoria Vanderbilt. Billionaire's fiancé exposes a domestic conspiracy. I only wanted to be loving mother to those poor motherless boys, Victoria sobbed. I poured my heart into that home. But Arthur is deeply unstable, violent, severe anger issues. And she, that housemaid Rachel, she manipulated Arthur. Cast a spell on him. Claudia leaned forward. Improper relationship? Absolutely. I caught them intimate in kitchen. When I confronted, Arthur lost control. Assaulted me, dragged me down steps, threw me out with nothing. Stole my ring and jewelry. That maid is predator. She crept into my bed and turned my husband against me. I am terrified for the babies. Arthur's blood boiled. Audacity staggering. Victoria reversed predator and victim. Arthur, they call me mistress on television. Rachel sobbed, sinking to knees. They say I ruined a family. If my mother sees this, the shock will kill her. My reputation destroyed. No one will believe that garbage, Arthur said, fists white. Thomas's voice crackled on intercom. Mr. Arthur, 6 news vans and 20 paparazzi at gates, shouting for the maid. Demanding statement on assault allegations. Rachel buried face. They will ruin my life. Let me slip out back before they climb walls. I cannot be cause of your ruin. Arthur took her wrists. Look at me, you are not going anywhere. You are victim. Today the world sees unvarnished truth. But she is Vanderbilt. Family dominated Atlanta for century. Famous, beautiful, media in pocket. Who takes word of common maid over her? I am nobody. You are the woman who saved my sons. I am Arthur Ferrero. I possess what Victoria forgot, the unedited truth. Doorbell rang. Harrison and legal team. Rachel, do you trust me? Yes, Arthur. Then dry eyes. Finish feeding sons. I am going out there. Arthur walked to foyer. Thomas and guards at doors. Open main gates. Allow every camera crew onto lawn. Microphone array on terrace. Live press conference in 5 minutes. Arthur accessed media server. Selected kitchen security file. On terrace flashbulbs exploded. Reporters shouted. Arthur raised hand, shouting died. Good morning. I watched Victoria's statements. Serious allegations. Domestic violence. Infidelity. Child endangerment. Journalists leaned forward expecting apology or denial. Victoria said an image is worth 1,000 words. I agree. I will not offer statement. I offer absolute reality. He pointed to giant LED screen on pool pavilion. Tapped phone, screen lit. Silence, absolute, 4K video played. Timestamp yesterday 10:14 a.m. Audio pristine. Journalists watched Victoria enter kitchen twisted in rage, heard her voice. I refuse to tolerate this wretched noise. They are a miserable burden. Saw her hurl teacup at Maid's feet. Rachel spin. Human shield for infants. Heard extortion. If I tell him you broke that cup, who will he believe? His future high society wife or a penniless maid? Journalists gasped, lowered devices in shock. Others typed frantically, witnessing social destruction of prominent debutante live. Video ended, but Arthur let secondary reel play. Clips of Victoria ignoring twins' cries, cruelty to Rachel over weeks. That is the woman weeping on your screens, Arthur said with icy contempt. A woman who used wealth and name as weapon to destroy Rachel Juarez, 20-year-old minimum wage girl. Rachel endured psychological torment and physical threats to ensure my sons were not left unprotected. He looked into primary camera. Victoria, if watching, my legal team filed charges. Savannah PD has expedited warrant for arrest on extortion, false police report, felony child neglect, 1 hour to turn yourself in. Press conference over. Arthur walked back inside. Reporters changed narrative. Where is Rachel? Is she suing Vanderbilt family? Arthur stopped at threshold. Rachel Juarez is inside having breakfast with my family. Respect her privacy. Next lawsuit will be against any network trespassing on her dignity. Inside foyer, Rachel stood at staircase base, Leo in arms, Marcus clinging to her jeans. She watched through drawing room windows. Fresh tears, not terror. You did it, she whispered. You showed the world. I told you no one would harm you again under this roof. Victoria's lies cannot hurt you. Your name is clear. Rachel's shoulders shook. Thank you. No one ever stood up for me like that. Get used to it. As long as under this roof you are protected. Intercom chimed. Harrison from courthouse. Arthur DA reviewed footage. Warrant signed. Savannah police en route to studio to take Victoria into custody live on air. Vanderbilt lawyers trying bail but blocked on child endangerment. She goes to jail tonight. Let them take her. Keep her far from my family. In-studio atmosphere shifted to panic. Victoria had held audience with flawless weeping. Now lights hot. Technicians whispering, staring at phones. Claudia adjusted earpiece. Professional smile vanished. Victoria, extraordinary update from Ferrero Estate. Arthur broadcast live security feed. Victoria's facade faltered. Feral panic, then defensive sneer. Video, digital fabrication. Arthur can pay experts to manipulate imagery. Roll the tape. Projection screen flared. State of Georgia watched Victoria shriek at housemaid. Smash cup. Pour milk over Rachel's feet. Declare children burden. Audio. If I tell him you broke that cup, who will he believe? Victoria stood violently, ripped microphone, threw it. Turn that off. Lie. Calculated smear. I will sue network into bankruptcy. Remain seated. Footage authenticated, warrant issued. Heavy doors crashed open. 4 Atlanta officers marched to couch. Victoria Vanderbilt, under arrest. For what? Outrage. Do you know who my father is? Chatham County DA warrant for felony child endangerment, extortion, fraudulent police report. Hands behind back. No, Arthur, stop them. It was mistake. Stressed about wedding, I love you. Officers gripped arms, spun her, metallic click of cuffs echoed through microphones. You are hurting me, savages. Let me go. I will have your badges. I am Vanderbilt. Cameras tracked humiliating exit, screeching voice fading. Back in mansion, Arthur turned monitor black. Silence of peace and purification. They caught her, Rachel whispered. She is going to prison. I promised no one would abuse you again. I keep promises. He walked to windows, shame lingering. He allowed Viper into rooms where children slept. Arthur, Rachel's soft voice. Thank you. You saved my life. If she won, I don't know what would happen to Mother or me. Arthur turned. No, Rachel. You saved my life. You saved my sons. I merely did what any decent father should have done weeks ago. Twin cries drifted down. Beautiful, messy reality of life. I will go tend to them. No, we will go together. 3 days of tranquility. Heavy drapes pulled wide. Georgia sun flooding. Classical music replaced by children's laughter and radio melodies while Rachel cooked. She insisted on cooking. I cannot sit doing nothing. Besides, you need real food, not tiny gourmet portions that leave you starving. Arthur rushed home at 3 for her chicken pot pie and buttermilk biscuits, finest he ever tasted. Rachel no longer in blue uniform. Arthur ordered boutique wardrobe, soft blouses, trousers, casual wear. She protested too much expense. He insisted necessary for new protocol. Thursday afternoon, picture perfect. Arthur cross-legged on rug, helping Leo stack blocks. Rachel on sofa, reading to Marcus. Arthur watched, contentment in chest. Irony of life, searched perfect wife in Atlanta elite circles, found hollow cruelty. Here in woman hired to scrub floors, he found warmth, loyalty, fierce maternal love that couldn't be manufactured. Arthur, Rachel said, blushing. Should we enroll boys in infant swimming next month? Article said wonderful for motor development. Excellent idea. You call shots on their schedule. Doorbell rang, loud, authoritative demand. Arthur frowned. Thomas hadn't alerted. Stay with boys. I will see who it is. In foyer, massive doors pushed open. Thomas pale, failing to intercept. Mrs. Eleanor, please wait in courtyard. Arthur, not expecting you. Statuesque woman swept past like Chanel hurricane. Eleanor Ferrero, 65, silver rigid bob, tailored gray suit costing average American yearly wage. Cold blue eyes identical to Arthur's but industrial steel hardness. Step aside, Thomas. Arthur, mother, what are you doing here? No notice from Madrid. Notice? So you could hide wreckage? I learned from international networks my son turned life into vulgar tabloid scandal. Eleanor marched to sitting room, heels like gunshots. Stopped dead, gaze sweeping toys on rug, unacceptable. Eyes locked on Rachel. Rachel stood, knuckles white, Marcus clutched tight. Felt small, defenseless under older woman's gaze treating her as dark stain. Ah, the famous domestic savior. Mother, enough. You will not speak to her in that tone. Do not lecture me on tone. This is pathetic reason you dismantled engagement to Vanderbilt. Common housemaid? Her name is Rachel. She protected your grandsons from physical abuse while I was miles away. Only reason family intact. Do not be naive. Victoria high standing. Perhaps firm with staff, but abuse. Entire situation calculated trap by this girl. She saw wealthy lonely widower, used children to play victim, recorded moments to orchestrate cancellation. Oldest trick. You fell completely. Rachel felt hot humiliation tears. Again wealthy woman judging worth without knowing heart. Painted villain because lacked trust fund. Ma'am, I never wanted his money, only keep babies safe. Do not speak to me, girl. Domestic help. Function to clean toilets and remain invisible. From what I see, you allowed yourself too comfortable. Sleeping in master guest suite? Already tried Philly diamonds while son away? Enough. Arthur roared, glass pane shaking. Took mother's upper arm, forced eye contact. In this house, no one speaks to Rachel with less than absolute respect. She lives here. Permanent part of family. If you cannot govern tongue, you can walk out those doors and take next flight from Savannah. Silence deafening. Eleanor stared at son's hand, then fierce, unyielding eyes. In 35 years, Arthur never raised voice, never threatened eviction. You threatened to throw your own mother out? For her, I demand decency. Victoria faces prosecution because monster to my sons, Rachel saved them. If issue with reality, problem lies with your character, not my choices. Eleanor smoothed sleeve, unreadable mask. Master of manipulation, recognized direct assault failed against iron will. Needed calculated strategy, forced cold smile not reaching eyes. Very well. Perhaps overwhelmed by travel and shock. Forgive me, child. Simply protective mother. Want to ensure son not taken advantage of. Rachel did not trust shift but nodded. I understand, ma'am. Staying few weeks. Spend time with grandsons. See if domestic arrangement as noble as claimed. Arthur knew she lied. Staying to investigate, find flaws, undermine Rachel until she broke and left. Formal Cold War declaration. Thomas. Move mother's luggage to guest in East Orchard. Orchard House? Why so far? Master guest suite empty. That room permanently occupied. By Rachel. Elegant dinner Eleanor organized, not celebration but calculated execution. Invited 6 prominent old money Savannah families under intimate gathering guise. True purpose. Isolate and humiliate Rachel before Arthur's peers. Rachel near foot of long mahogany table in wine-colored cocktail dress Arthur bought, felt naked under judgmental glares. 2 hours, Eleanor directed conversation to subjects Rachel couldn't participate, classical European art, Swiss boarding schools, international real estate. Every attempt Rachel made to speak, Eleanor cut with patronizing remark, highlighting lack of formal education. Arthur at head, expression darker each minute. Redirected multiple times but mother master of subtle warfare. Dessert cleared, Eleanor stood, glass raised theatrical. Toast to wonderful son. May he soon recover senses and remember lineage that built Ferrero name. Speaking of family treasures, appears I misplaced grandmother's antique emerald ring. Heirloom 3 generations. Guest silent. Uncomfortable glances. Mother, if lost ring we can look morning. No need wait, darling. Already had staff preliminary search while dining. You will never believe where precious emerald discovered. Eleanor reached satin pocket, pulled heavy platinum ring, massive Colombian emerald. Held high under chandelier, green facets, accusatory eye. Found hidden directly beneath mattress of master guest suite. Hidden inside room of charming housemaid. Collective gasp horror through guests. Rachel felt room spin, blood draining, ghost-like. No, I didn't. Never seen that ring. Be silent, wretched thief. Eleanor barked, triumphant. See now, Arthur. True nature of creature allowed into home. Wormed into affections, used children play victim. Moment back turned, began robbing blind. Emerald worth fortune. Stole to fund mother's care. Textbook criminal opportunistic theft. Rachel looked down long table to Arthur. Dark eyes wide, profound, terrifying vulnerability, did not beg belief. Did not shriek innocence. Simply stood, hands trembling on wine dress, waiting verdict. If he believed mother, doubted integrity even second, everything built beautiful lie. Arthur, please. Swear on mother's life, don't know how object got into room. Do not dare bring mother's health into sordid affair. Call authorities. Clear grand larceny. Want girl removed in handcuffs, just like previous mistake.
Poetic justice.
Arthur rose slowly. Massive present-filled room, long dark shadow over table. Did not look at Rachel. Focus locked on mother's triumphant expression. Reached jacket pocket, pulled smartphone, movement slow, deliberate, calm. You found it beneath her mattress, mother? Yes, exactly. Staff lifted linens. There it was. Inarguable proof guilt. Truly fascinating. Arthur murmured, unlocking screen. What fascinating about servant stealing from family? Fascinating because Rachel hasn't entered that bedroom since 2 this afternoon. Spent entire afternoon with me in study reviewing twins' medical records, then changed into dress in downstairs powder room because you insisted she not use upper hallways while guests arriving. Eleanor's smile faltered. Twitch at eye corner. Well, clearly hit it this morning before came down. Physically impossible. You were wearing that exact emerald ring during 4 o'clock tea on terrace. Noticed when reached for sugar bowl. Silence suffocating. Guests shifted, narrative shifting rapidly. Do not attempt defend indefensible. Ring was in her bed, all that matters under law. Mother, remember why Victoria currently in Atlanta jail cell? What that have to do with this? Everything. Based on Victoria, I didn't leave old security system. Hidden cloud-based cameras installed every corridor, common room, guest suite. Ensure Rachel always safe from anyone wishing harm. Arthur tapped screen. High-definition video projected on wall monitor behind table for all guests. Timestamp 6:40 p.m., 20 minutes before dinner. Guest suite empty. Door slowly opened. Eleanor Ferrero stepped in frame. Video captured elegant older woman nervously over shoulder before walking directly to bed. Pulled antique emerald from own wrist, lifted Rachel's pillow, slipped jewelry beneath fabric. Walked to vanity, adjusted hair cold, satisfied smile. Exited, silence absolute, heavy intense collective embarrassment. High society guests looked away from Eleanor, deep distaste. In elite circles, snobbish acceptable. Caught on recording fabricating crime to frame young girl unforgivable social sin. Rachel let long ragged breath, sob pure overwhelming relief, sank back into chair. Arthur, Eleanor stammered, sickly mottled white beneath heavy makeup. Unfair angle, digital manipulation. Simply checking Maid changed linens correctly. We are finished, mother. Exactly 1 hour. Eleanor blinked, hand shaking, dropped emerald on table. 1 hour for what? 1 hour pack luxury luggage and vacate property permanently. Thomas drives you private airfield. Corporate jet fueled. Ordered return Madrid tonight. You cannot do this, your mother. Built your social standing. Did this save you from own stupidity? This girl does not belong our world. You going ruin Ferrero legacy, mixing bloodline with girl scrubs floors living. Arthur walked length of table, stopped beside Rachel's chair. Strong protective arm around shoulders, pulled close against side. Ferrero legacy defined by coldness and cruelty far too long. Rachel, only pure, genuinely decent thing, entered this house in generations. If must choose between social legacy and woman who loves my sons, legacy can rot in hell. Thomas, escort mother to quarters pack. Guests, dinner concluded. Exit my home immediately. Eleanor screamed insults as Thomas guided to foyer, voice fading until heavy doors slammed, sealing her out forever. Following morning, remarkable, profound stillness. Heavy, oppressive tension vanished with Eleanor's luggage. Rachel descended early to sun-drenched kitchen. Jeans and simple cotton t-shirt. Hands needed, busy process, emotional storm. Brewed coffee, sliced fruit, warmed twins formula. Arthur in doorway. Not executive suit. Comfortable linen trousers, soft cotton shirt sleeves rolled, barefoot, human relaxed. Good morning. Good morning, Arthur. He poured coffee directly from pot. Need you come into study moment. Boys still sleeping. Few minutes quiet. Rachel's heart, defensive anxiety, flutter. Study. In life called into private office, always bad news, terminations, reprimands, legal documents. Did I do something wrong? Completely opposite. Come with me. Study imposing leather legal texts, mahogany shelves, massive executive desk fortress. Today's surface held simple blue leather folder and small square velvet box. Arthur not behind desk authority. Leaned front edge, exact same eye level as Rachel in leather armchair. Rachel spent entire night thinking events yesterday. After mother departed, realized profound truth. Current arrangement cannot continue. Rachel, cold, dread stomach. He's going by apartment send away because high society never accept maid living house. I understand. Don't have to explain. Start packing this morning. Only ask, please allow visit Leo and Marcus occasionally. Love them so much. Break heart if never see grow up. Arthur frowned utter confusion before reached, gently took hands. Pack? What talking about? About me leaving. Said arrangement cannot continue. Right, improper maid living master wing. People whispering reputation. Arthur's soft incredulous laugh, deep tenderness. Rachel, didn't bring into study dismiss you. Brought offer permanent partnership. Picked blue leather folder, placed gently lap. Trembling fingers Rachel opened. Official legal documents, Golden Georgia Family Court's seal. Scanned headings. Petition for guardianship and complete educational trust allocation. Beneath secondary financial contract. The Rosa Maria Juarez Irrevocable Trust Agreement. Arthur, don't understand. What this? Your permanent security. Documents accomplish two things. First, legal team officially filed petition grant full legal co-guardianship Leo and Marcus. You their mother every way matters except biology. Want law recognize reality. No one, not Victoria, not mother, not any court, ever separate you from sons again. Permanent protector. Fresh tears overflowed, splattered legal parchment. Co-guardianship. But Arthur, poor, no university degree. Possess more wisdom and nobility little finger than all corporate executives ever commanded. Second document establishes permanent trust fund your name. Transferred substantial personal wealth into account. Not salary. Belongs you completely. Ensures pursue whatever education desire. Purchase home if ever wish leave. Ensure mother access finest private nursing care United States rest days. Grants absolute financial freedom. Rachel closed folder, chest-heaving magnitude gift. Never cared luxury but fact-granting autonomy and power something no human ever done. Why doing this for me? Arthur slid desk edge. Knelt directly rug front her, hands tight within own. Because taught me all wealth world utterly meaningless if return home devoid love. Because sons smile moment you enter room. And because, paused, completely dropped corporate defense, because I smile moment you enter room as well. Want you stay this house. Not because financially dependent job, but because choose share life with us. Reached opened small velvet box on desk. Rachel held breath, half expecting diamond engagement ring. Object entirely different. Heavy antique iron key, beautifully forged, polished. Not a ring, will not propose today. Would taking unfair advantage gratitude. Deserve proper courtship, deserve real dates. Flowers, romance, time fall in love naturally without pressure. Key represents something else. Placed heavy iron key palm, gently folded fingers over cool metal. Master key entire Savannah estate. Opens every door, front gates, office, safes, family archives. Until today only held key service entrance, ends now. With this key walk through, front door equal. Mistress this house now, alongside me. If dislike furniture we discard. If want alter home your word law. Rachel looked down key resting hand. Incredibly heavy, massive responsibility but profound true belonging. No longer employee. Home. As sun gentle, Savannah River, long amber glow manicured gardens, terrace looked transformed. Rigid past atmosphere vanished. Beautiful, welcoming warmth. Rose pristine white chairs beneath ancient moss-draped oak. Closest friends and family Arthur chosen keep life. Absolute center front row highest honor elderly woman, deep wise wrinkles. Rachel's mother modern wheelchair, eyes bright clear, free gray tint advanced illness. Medical trust Arthur established health, stabilized dramatically. Weeping pure maternal pride tears. Arthur beneath floral archway, exceptionally handsome tailored black tuxedo. Hands usually steady massive corporate acquisitions, trembling anticipation. Soft murmur admiration rippled guests. Musicians began beautiful orchestral version. Southern lullaby Rachel hummed kitchen. Arthur looked long aisle heart skipped. Walking unsteadily across grass Leo and Marcus, nearly 2 years old, miniature tuxedos matching father perfectly. Carried small velvet pillow between them, giggling, waving guests, completely safe, overflowing joy. Rachel appeared. Crowd stood unison, profound silence garden. Rachel's slow, regal grace stunning, simple white French lace gown flowed like water. Modest diamond tiara, sparkled dark hair, but true light emanated eyes. Did not look girl spent youth scrubbing floors. Looked queen, conquered kingdom, sheer power kindness. Reached altar Arthur immediately stepped forward, took hands intense devotion. Minister began traditional service, but time vows Arthur requested microphone turning bride. Rachel. 1 year ago, poorest man this state. Bank accounts overflowing, but home empty fortress. Entirely blind reality families suffering. You didn't enter life clean house, entered cleansed soul. Endured physical pain, humiliation, terror, solely ensure motherless sons protected. Today promise you never have be strong alone again. My hands spend rest days healing your wounds, never causing them. Love you, Rachel. You, my true savior. Rachel wept openly, squeezing hands, took microphone. Arthur don't possess elegant words or high society education. Only know true love defined what we do, not what we say. You restored dignity, saved mother's life, loved scars. Promise cherish you, Leo Marcus, every single beat heart rest days, because you, my absolute world. Kiss gentle, lingering, beautiful ceiling bond, forged fire adversity. Guests erupted deafening applause. Twins immediately ran forward, wrapped little arms, parents' legs, completing perfect circle, new family. Understanding the true wealth of human life as Arthur and Rachel's journey concludes beneath Savannah's ancient oaks. The narrative reflects the true weight of social status, material fortune, and familial devotion. We race for financial security and project perfection, only to realize these are sandcastles when life's storms arrive. Arthur possessed everything the material world valued, yet was profoundly impoverished, blind to the neglect threatening his motherless children. The story reminds us how we perceive human worth. Society judges by luxury markers, labels, zip codes, family names. Yet genuine nobility cannot be purchased or inherited. Victoria carried a historic name through elite circles with rehearsed grace, but her character was an arid desert of narcissism and cruelty. Rachel, from rural scarcity, carried a soul of unadulterated gold, sacrificing safety and enduring humiliation to protect two infants who shared none of her biology. This is true aristocracy. Self-contained dignity unshakable in darkness, independent of validation or reward. The story warns of the absolute requirement of present, active parenthood over mere financial provision. Arthur's absence created the vacuum where cruelty bloomed. Life corrects with poetic precision. The woman who demanded submission now performs prison labor, while the humble maid who chose moral courage enters through the front gates of a true home. Life, stripped of superficial decorations, is defined by the quality of our love and the integrity of our voices. Those who choose kindness always find sanctuary where storms can no longer touch them.